welcome back to a brand new episode of NoonaTalk. I am Zara.
And I'm Sophia.
And today we're talking about two of the most monoliths of what's come out of Korea. Like one of the most popular movies, which is K-pop Demon Hunters, and one of the most popular K-dramas, Squid Game. But before we get into all of that, what's going on with you, Sophia? Where have you been? It's been 2 weeks since we last met you.
Yeah, honestly, I've been traveling like last couple weeks. I went to Banff, which is like nice mountain place near where I live, and I went to Vancouver, which is like a new city that I haven't been to before, and it was absolutely beautiful. I went cycling, I went hiking, I took a ferry ride to go on an island. Like there was so much going on. One more thing, I got a watch.
Oh,
I
so,
just got
oh,
it.
what kind of watch is that?
Like I just needed a step tracker, so I don't always have my whatever phone.
Phone with you, yeah.
Yeah, and it does other things like heart rate or whatever, all the cool stuff. I'm not a watch or accessory person at all, but so this is like a first time for me because I hate wearing things on myself. But now I was like, since I've started wearing rings again, how about let me try doing a watch? That's it. That's all there is. And I just found something on Amazon. I just really like the design. Like I like the color and the design. They had it in purple also. Ho raha hai. That was not on like the Prime Day discount. And what is the point of buying something if it's not on Prime Day?
Is this like the Amaze Fit? Like if the
No,
it's the
it's
Amazon
not.
one?
It's not the Amazon one because that I think is not compatible with iPhones.
Oh,
iOS.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how in our family we've always discussed how there's like people have different similarities and there's different overlaps, and I feel like you and my mother have a lot of things in some common, like in terms of behavior or like not maybe personality, but like behavior. One of the big things is that she bought exactly the same looking watch yesterday
So cool.
to track her steps.
Technically, in my time, it is yesterday. So we got it at the same time.
That's crazy. Yeah, she's been wanting to track her steps for a really long time, especially because I think we've been arguing a lot because she keeps saying, "Oh, walking around the house would count for these many thousand steps." And I'm like, no, it's not possible. Like, sure, our house is big, but it's not that big. Like, she'd be like, yeah, going from here to here is like 5,000 steps. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. But like a watch felt like a really big sort of investment for her because it's just so many things to do. And there's so like you said, there's a heart rate and all of these things. And it's just like, I personally constantly feel like we have too much access to data that makes no difference to our life. If we kept discussing like just getting something else, but then a watch is just probably the easiest thing to put on. So eventually she did just buy one, which I'm not kidding. It's exactly the same color as what you
That's so
just showed.
cool.
That's insane. Yeah, but speaking of Park Jimin, they're all back and they're all in LA. Okay,
Okay.
wait. I did not know all of them were in LA. Like I think Tae was in France for Celine, and he's just left, and they're all supposed to be in LA for 2 months.
Yeah, like that's what they mentioned in their OT7 V Live, where they will all be traveling with Jin so that he can be a part of the recording process. One sad thing is that is that Slow Rabbit will no longer be a part of like BTS's main music team because he is focused on TXT.
Busy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
I
mentioned
mean,
that
that makes sense because Slow Rabbit, I feel like hasn't been around for the solos either.
I guess now is just a confirmation of something we've observed, which is
Mm.
sad, but I'm so excited. Like, I know obviously it's gonna take some time, like maybe another 6, 7 months, which in music terms isn't that much. Like,
I feel like these are people who have had a history of churning out music really fast and very good music at that. And I think we'd be hard pressed to assume that they weren't doing something in the back end while they were at the military. I think that they are operating off of a baseline for sure. And yes, they're at their song camp, lyric camp, whatever that they're doing right now in America. And that would be to build the album, but I'm sure there is something to build off of.
yeah, of course.
There has been so many comebacks.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Last night, I couldn't sleep and I just went on YouTube and I just like listened to everything that came out. And yes, there have been K-pop comebacks, like BlackPink came back, Ateez came back,
Twice.
Twice came back, so many
Justin
other
Bieber
people.
came back.
Justin Bieber and like like honestly, even outside of that, like who's the Giveon released an album? Like, yeah, Heartbreak
Oh wow.
Anniversary 2.0, and like so many people. Like, there's so much new music. It's finally summertime. Like, we're finally acknowledging that we needed music for the summer, and it's here.
That's okay. I did not know Giveon has also released music. That's insane. Has
Yeah.
so if you've heard a lot of this music last night, has anything stood out to you?
What we can do is like go over like at least the top few K-pop comebacks that have happened, and like, just give me your opinion.
Okay, I hated Jump. The first time I saw it was at like a
Oh, you
fan
didn't
camp.
even breathe.
I because no, I really did not like it. I saw it as a fan cam during one of their concerts, and I feel like nothing good comes from watching a Blackpink fan cam. I think they have been doing shockingly wonderful in their solos. They clearly are unhappy being forced to be back as a group. I don't know why is it that they do so well alone on a stage, and then they put four of them on the stage and suddenly they're like, oh, I cannot move. I really don't get it. It's very sad, and it felt like they didn't have enough time to even memorize the jump choreo when I saw that fan cam. Like it
Mhm.
felt like at least several times it felt like they had to like check in with each other to be like, oh, where do we go next? One of my friends did watch the Jump MV that they released and
Mhm.
said that that really made her appreciate the song because the MV was really fun. I haven't watched it. I'm not sure if I will agree because I don't know if this is the kind of song that I would ever be able to appreciate. So I think
Mm.
it's like the Venn diagram of music I don't really like, along with disappointed performances.
I feel that. Like, okay, so I personally was so disinvested in this because I was like, okay, they're not even doing an album. Like, this is the least effort, like just a throwaway single that YG is just putting together to be like, hey, we have a tour, you have to do it contractually. So contractually give us a
Hmm.
song with it. So I wasn't gonna listen to it, except you made me and you were like, you have to listen to it so that we could talk about it. And like in my thing yesterday, I hadn't watched any of the fan cams from the show because like we discussed, we are not expecting a lot. But I love the song. Like, it's so good. Oh my god. It's honestly reminiscent of like Europop, like 2000s Europop. Like, it's just such a party song. I heard it. I was like, oh my god, I need this to play at a club. Like, I want to dance to it. It's so fun. I was vibing. And then I heard it again today just to make sure. Like, was I just sleepy? Did I just so sleepy? So yeah, it was honestly so fun because I'm just nothing like what I expected.
Hmm.
And I did watch the MV. Yeah, I think what I liked about it. Oh, I'm not saying I loved the MV or anything. Okay, it was just a music video, but it was just not like they didn't stick to any of the Blackpink tropes where it's like slow moving, beauty shots, the from like down low and like super high fashion, like clothing, and then goes into dance break, goes back into slow move. It wasn't that. Like, it was actually fun. There was some level of quirk in there, which I've never seen from a Blackpink music video. Like, I think the script has always been look pretty, look hot, look unattainable, but this was like, it was actually fun, and I was glad to see some fun element. But I like the song. I like that it didn't follow those patterns as well. Although I would say, like, again, this is not like, it's not like some, oh my god, great song, or like lyrically like blown away. It's just a really fun song, and it's also like nothing that's super trending right now or nothing that's generic
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm.
It's a reference to a very specific time, and I think it's perfect. Like, summer, they're doing their concert, and I don't know if they'll perform at Coachella this year. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay, but if it was playing in Coachella or any music festival, oh my god, it's such a bop for that. Like, perfect
Fair.
festival or party song.
Fair. Interesting. Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, I am definitely not in that camp. But other releases, Twice has come out with their fourth album, fourth
Mhm.
full studio album.
So I heard the title track. I haven't heard the album, to be honest. I did not like it. It was okay, cute message. Yeah, you go, girl. Go for it. Kind of killing it, girl. Whatever. Didn't care for the song. It was not memorable. Like the song ended, and I did not remember it, like what it sounded like. But I love their fits. Like it was the fashion was so well done. Oh my god! Like kudos to their stylist. They really put in the work, and the girls were giving. Like
Yeah, I think I agree with you that the title track wasn't necessarily the best. The messaging again is always nice. I feel like maybe because we're already killing it, girl. So we don't need to hear that. Maybe we need a little bit more. But I feel like if maybe a 15-year-old is listening to this, they do need this messaging to come from already fairly empowered women. So maybe that's why we're out of the loop in that sense. But I do appreciate the thought.
hmm.
So I'm there for that. But yeah, same. I haven't heard the entire album, but I've heard a couple of them, and some of them really are good. Like I think "Goat" was a really good subunit song. Options overall, I really enjoyed. So there are really strong B sides. I think title track maybe they didn't choose the best one,
Could
which
be.
is a curse. I feel like this is a difficult thing to pick out in albums. Like there's a difference between what is your best work, what is the catchiest, what will work well on TikTok and reels. So I think there's you have to go through all of these things to be able to figure out what your title track is. So maybe it's fitting some other demographic that like we're not able to appreciate.
They also released, all the members have also released outside of the album, each member has released a solo track. So
Hmm.
not only is there a whole album, there is also nine other songs. Like these are the opposite ends of the spectrum with Blackpink and one song and Twice with like feeding once is like it's nobody's business. Why is it like Thanksgiving already?
Yeah, never go hungry if you're a once. Okay, and 80s released In Your Fantasy, which is a part of Golden Hour Part 3. I have spent the last 6 months really getting into 80s. I bought Golden Hour Part 2 as an album, I think at the end of November. I think that was just because I really appreciated Part 1 and Part 2. So I was like, yeah, let's go. But yeah, no, I am now aboard the pirate ship. I am saluting to the captain. I'm on it. Maybe not like as much as I feel, no, maybe not the same strength of like my emotions that I have for like TXT, of course not for Bangtan, but like it's definitely getting up there. Yeah, did you hear this? Did you
Yeah,
hear the
I
news?
did actually, because I was listening to everything that came out yesterday. So I was so surprised because like I've heard 80s in their initial years, and then I've heard like the popular songs. What was the hot song that
Bouncy.
Bouncy? Yeah, like Bouncy was a bop, as we all agree.
Hmm.
But yeah, this was so good. It was such a mature sound for them, and I think now they're in their like sexy boy group era, and totally see why you like them because it was giving like Love Shot EXO Max. Like that's I thought about it. Okay, I was like, okay, this is like Love Shot EXO. This is Shiny Lucifer. This is Wix. Like it's that.
Yes,
It's the best of 2017, 2018, like K-pop, and 80s are bringing that back, and I'm
that
happy for
is so accurate. Shiny Lucifer is exactly what I thought. um but yeah, no, you're right. I think I had the same feeling where it was just like I listened to them initially. I knew who they were. I thought I always respected them as performers. I think I'd seen a lot of clips of Hong Joon being like literally the most respectful man ever, and then Bouncy happened, which I think universally is the most loved like song. Like nobody, never met a Bouncy auntie. Like, can you be a Bouncy auntie?
that. If you're out there, let us know.
Yeah, I know. Comment below if you're a bouncy auntie. The music has changed. It has become better. It is maybe either very directly appealing to me, or it has genuinely gotten better.
Think it's a bit of both.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Because it's really good. I felt all of it has been such a bop. Like, nothing is something that I wouldn't listen to so far, which is
Mhm.
shocking.
I did have this one thing, which when I was watching it, it struck me, and I was like, "Oh, this is my pet peeve." And this is a thing where I am not into a lot of boy groups. Like I've tried getting into Stray Kids at Max, but other than that, it's like Bangtan and like some TXT, some Enhypen, but like not really boy groups. I'm super into girl groups, like a lot more. Because a lot of boy groups do this and BTS doesn't, where there's always this one rapper who like raps like in this tone, and it annoys me so much. Like the minute that comes on, I'm like, oh, band karo.
Okay, just say Felix and go.
No, 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 but like not Felix. I mean, like every this was a thing where I could just never get into EXO because there was always like, was that Sehun or was that Chanyeol?
Tenure. I
Chanyeol.
think Tenure's natural voice is also slightly deep, so it didn't feel as disingenuous. But like
It just
Sehun,
it just never worked for me. I'm just like, why are we like oscillating between the tones so much? Which I get is totally some people's alley. Some
yeah,
people.
I agree. It's also not my alley, and in some songs, it's absolutely it does work,
Mm,
because you do need that like drop. But like in a lot of them, it doesn't, and it does
yeah.
feel forceful.
In fact,
Um,
I do feel like Stray Kids are the one group that actually make it work. Like they really use Felix's, and it's a natural voice versus a lot of
mhm.
people where it's like really forced. You want to talk about Tail?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes, 3.5 years in jail for Tail from NCT. It's obviously not enough, but it is very surprising that he got any time at all. Like,
Hmm.
given power, influence, and everything, usually, and the fact that there are still people out there supporting and defending him.
Well, if Diddy could get out, so could Tail.
Honestly, and Diddy has like a lot more influence than Tail does. Yeah, 3.5 years in jail, and that's a good start. I think that's all. That's a good precedent to set that there are going to be consequences for actions. I don't know if that's going to people who have access to enormous amount of influence and money usually don't face consequences,
Okay, Tail was an NCT.
but he still had money. Like that doesn't take that away,
Like,
right?
who
He
was
still
the other guy from NCT who would like keep asking fans for money?
Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was a difference because Lucas was in Wavy and Tail was in 127.
Oh.
So there is a difference
Yeah.
there. And he wasn't even like in Wavy the way like 10 is a part of Wavy, where there is like 10's doing so much solo work.
The Lucas
So
thing was funny though, because the texts were like, please give me some money to buy cigarettes.
I think it's time for us to talk about the two major developments of the entertainment industry, K-pop Demon
Yes.
Hunters and Squid Game. Okay, so very interestingly, I have not watched K-pop Demon Hunters. I've watched a lot of the clips. I know the story. I've heard every song. I have watched all the cosplay. Looking at you, Wonho, Abby, Saja Boy. Sophia has not watched Squid Game.
I saw the first one, but that was it. Like I just did not keep up because for me that story was so complete. I just never felt the need to watch anything else. And I did think that maybe when the final season comes out I'll watch it, but nothing about it. Like I just didn't feel like it, so I didn't. And I'm actually surprised you did.
So what we're going to do is we're going to tell each other our opinions of what we watched
Mm-hmm.
and then do a verse. Is there a verses? I don't know. We'll get there first.
Hmm.
Okay, why don't you tell me about K-pop Demon Hunters?
So, like, I'll just give you a brief rundown of the story. Spoiler, if someone hasn't watched it, please go watch it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So, K-pop Demon Hunters, as it sounds, is exactly that. We have a girl group which who are K-pop idols by day and demon hunters by night. They kill the demons. Now, demons are like under the surface of the earth, and there's this major demon called Guima, and he like makes all the demons take the souls of people essentially. And so there are these hunters who are generational, so they've always been there since the beginning, who have the power of song to create a lair on the surface of the earth so that the demons cannot come to the earth to take like souls. So
Oh.
they need to like keep singing, and like every they kind of pass it on. Like there's always a new generation of hunters, and this is our current generation called Huntrix. And the lead singer, sorry, yeah, lead singer Rumi, her mom was a hunter as well, but and she was an idol group, and but she died, and she was raised by her aunt, and her aunt put together like two more people, and these are now the current hunters. And there are these like major idol awards in which it's like mama essentially, in which they're gonna sing this song to completely close up the layer called the honmoon, so that the demons never come again. And on the other side there's a demon who used to be a singer like 400 years ago, but now he's a demon because he made a deal with the devil to get famous, except the devil like kept his soul forever. And now he's proposing that he will fight the hunters and he will win and like completely ruin the honeymoon for the main demon Guima in exchange for like erasing his memories, because his memories have always haunted him for like doing what he did. And so he puts together a demon boy band called the Saja Boys, and the Saja Boys then come to the earth side, the human side of things, and they compete. And it's really cute because there's like this hot and cold, like these girls are like, who are they? We hate them. They're our rivals, but they're also like, oh my god, so hot. If anyone's seen that one Ab Saja scene where there's like popcorn falling out of her eyes because it's so entertaining. So yeah, so it's like this love hate relationship, but they also know that they're demons. And the secret is that Rumi is actually half demon herself. Like her dad was a demon. And so demons have these marks. And she, like, since the beginning, her aunt has told her just hide these marks. And once you close the hormone, then these marks will just go away. So you'll be like pure, full human. The main Saja boy, Jinu, he sees her marks and he's like, what are you doing? Like, you're also a demon. Like, why are you fighting us? Kind of a thing. And then they would like secretly meet, and then he revealed his like soft side to her and she revealed her like, whatever weaknesses to him. And he was like, okay, I'll help you like close the hormone. And she was like, okay, you know what, when we close it, just stay on this side so you'll also get to be human forever. And he was like, okay, cool. And then the demon Guima finds out about it, and he calls like Genu, and he's like, you know what, I have total control over you and none of this would work out, so like you gotta do what I tell you, otherwise you're gonna be doomed with your memories forever. And Genu is like, okay, I will do that. And yeah, they have the Idol Awards where a lot of things happen, and then finally she like they expose like the demons expose her to be like she's actually a demon, and all her bandmates are like, oh, how could you lie to us all this while? And then Gino like betrays her, and she's like, oh my god, sad. And then the hormone is like destroyed. But since they are hunters, they can build a new hormone. So then she and like the girls get together and then they sing their song and save the people. And then right before leaving, Gino is like, oh my god, you made me realize that I have a soul. So he gives her his soul and then goes back to the demon world, and it ends.
Okay, thank you for explaining that because I have seen so many honeymoon references and I had no idea. Initially, I thought it was genuinely something like that Psy closed the honeymoon back in 2012, which is why we
Yeah.
survived the apocalypse and all of that. And I thought it was like a genuine thing. Like, you know how the apocalypse was like some Mayan calendar thing. I was like, maybe the honeymoon is some like Korean calendar thing. Who knows? I just never looked it up, but that was great. How did he give her his soul? Didn't the Guima have the soul?
Like he controlled him, but like by being by being around humans. And there's this like there's this fan sign that's happening. Like there's a lot of cute like rivalry stuff where this one time the girls are having a fan sign and the guys come there and they're like, oh hey, and then all the fans are like, oh my god, we love you, Saja boy. So then kind of keep the fans interest, the girls are like, okay, let's do a combined fan sign, which is crazy. And so when they do that, there's like it's really cute because some people start shipping them as well. And then this girl gives a painting or a drawing to Genu saying that I see your soul, Genu, and it makes him realize that he still has a soul. So then he like gives it to her before leaving.
I feel like I don't understand that aspect. That's the thing that's tripping me up because how can you sign your soul away to the devil and still have access to your soul?
I guess you just gotta fight the feeling. Like a lot of it is about like your fears and insecurities. Like it's all a big metaphor. Like the demon is like everything you're trying to hide and you're ashamed about. And the ending is like about accepting who you are. Like I'm the one I should love.
So, I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of clips. I've seen a lot of like content from this. I think we've made content on it on NoonaTalk as well.
Mhm.
There's this one scene where they keep like bowing to each other and getting further down. And that was done by Viviz. Like recreate that scene was recreated by Viviz, and like currently the M countdown, yeah, M countdown hosts are someone from Boy Next Door and one person from Zero Base One. Yes,
Oh.
so like and they're wearing the fit also. They're wearing like the gut and everything, and they like keep bowing like lower on the ground. It's a really funny thing. Jaehyun from Boy Next Door and Hanbin from ZB1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like now a phenomena. Like all the K-pop idols are on it, and I think we'll talk about that later. But I think you should get to Squid Games now.
okay. So Squid Game, I didn't watch season one. Go back and watch our season two K drama or K flop, because I did discuss in quite a lot of detail as to why that like wasn't a part of my repertoire. Anyway, season two, I did start watching for our episode's sake, like because we were watching the first episode, but like our usual thing is to watch just the first episode. I didn't watch the rest of it in totality. I just skipped forward to so that I could find out what was happening in terms of plot. And that's what happened for me for season three, where I just wanted to know what happens. There's an entire like what do you call it, revolution, revolt that the players do at the end of season two, and I really thought it would lead to something towards season three, where there would be like, okay, this is why we do the games, and like this is why we should do this or something. I don't know, I just felt like there would be more explanation, more reasoning, more thought. However, season three was devastatingly disappointing. I watched season three all the way through. Like I didn't skip. I mean, I did skip forward some, but like I did watch it all the way through, and it was so poorly written. This is okay. Go back, like again, go back and watch our season two video because episode, because trilogies are hard. Trilogies are very hard, and this was a trilogy that was made a trilogy for no reason. This was
What
just
happens?
nothing. I'm not kidding. Like it picks up from exactly where it finished, which is that the revolt that was being led by the players is subdued, and they just tell them, "Oh, whoever survived, and now let's continue with the game." Zero, like zero repercussion. They're just like, "Okay, let's just
Oh,
continue with the games."
so it's
Exactly.
like the same game from.
Huh? Yeah. That's just continuing on. Like
Oh,
so.
so it's like not a new game.
No. It's the same season
Oh,
two characters and everything. That's just continuing on.
okay.
The I think the plot twist in this, again, spoilers for anybody who may not have seen it, is that one of the players goes into the game pregnant, and
I've
the
seen
baby
that.
daddy is also there, and she ends up giving birth halfway through one of the games as well. And there's like this big thing of whether the baby should be considered a part of as a player or not. I mean, essentially, the baby is considered a player, and big spoiler alert, the baby wins. So they tried to do this. I think that was their idea, to be like,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, we're all still humans, and we all have empathy, and we're all going to fight for what's right, even though the entire show is not, that's not the premise. But I
Hmm.
think that's what they wanted to bring it around to. Like, you know how The Good Place started out showing Eleanor as like a really rancid person, who then over the course of 4 seasons learned how to be a respectful human being. I think that's what their plan was going into this, to show the depravity of humankind and greed and all of that, but then bring it back to, but we still have empathy, and we still feel, like nobody's going to harm a baby. Like, I think that's what they wanted to show, except like there were a lot of people willing to harm the baby. The last episode, especially, like there's this very sort of haunting moment where one of the main guy, he's like, people aren't horses, people are, and then he like ends up sacrificing himself so that the baby stays alive.
Oh, he
uh,
dies.
yeah, everyone has to die, right? Like that's the Squid Game
Yeah, that's true.
thing. So he sacrifices himself so that the baby survives, and like everybody else was willing to kill the baby. So I don't know if it just continues to show this one person who has some sort of like barest of minimum of ethics, because he has killed other people in the past,
Hmm.
like several people. Like season one was him killing people as well. So I'm
He
just
wasn't
like,
killing them. He had to like survive.
sure, okay, he did kill people in season two and three. Like there is a lot of that. So
Yeah.
it just felt very like, I don't know. And like the VIPs and all of that they did try to show were horrible. Oh my god, have you never met a rich person before? It was so bad. Like they tried to get these white people to
Yeah.
come out and talk, and it was very odd and very strange the way they spoke. And like a lot of, why were they dubbed in English while they were speaking in English? Like their mouth is moving, but the words are also moving. Like it's so strange. And like other things where the detective who's looking for the game master.
Yeah, what
Um,
happens to him?
Nothing. That's what I mean. Nothing happens. Like he finally makes it onto the island as the island's going to be like blown up because the games have finished, and the game master's standing there holding the baby, and the detective and he look at each other, and that's it. Nothing happens. Like there's nothing after that. Like the only contact that they have later on is the fact that like the baby then get like he sends the baby to his brother, the detective, to take care of, and that's like 6 months later or something like that. But that's it. There's literally nothing else. One thing that I did like, because I do feel like his character, like the main character, has always been written as a absentee dad, and I hated that. End of the series, all the money that he had won that had been left behind in that like CD motel room, the game master finds it and gives it to his daughter.
So the
So
game master is a better dad than that guy.
the game master found a nice like dad for the baby and managed to like give the money to the daughter. Honestly,
Yeah.
better dad. And I think there was a lot of things of like the game master also being just like a lot of his background was also explained, where he was a player at one of the games and
Yeah.
he ended up winning, which is
The
why he is
first
now.
one, like that was the thing.
Right, right. And that I thought was very interesting. And they set it up to sort of, because I believe there's an American Squid Game spin-off that's supposed to happen. And they set it up where Kate Blanchett had a cameo towards the end.
Hmm.
And that's supposed to be the cue for the spin-off, that how it's like a global thing now. It was very disappointing. I watched somebody else's review saying the same thing, and like there were a lot of comments being like, just because it didn't end how you wanted it to doesn't mean it's bad. And I'm like, no, 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 that's not the issue. The issue is that it was extremely poor writing. Like it no,
Yeah.
like I feel like something had to give. You had to either have a very poignant moment of everybody getting together to like save the baby, or you had to have something like the VIPs had to be better written. You had to have like some moment between the detective and the brother, like the game master. Something had to happen there. Like everything was left. They just stopped writing. Like it just felt like at some point they were just like, okay, yeah, we'll just make it poignant scenes and pump some music and it'll end.
I think that's what kind of worked for the first season, where there was so much mystery around things, and they could end there because you're like, okay, there's going to be something more, but like this story kind of ends. Like they closed the story, but they didn't like dig into all the background. And I guess the point of the next in a trilogy, the point of the next two is to like dig into the background. And it's interesting that they didn't do that. So I guess you've done pros and cons, Loki. Is there a pro? Do you have pros?
I understand their intent. Like their intention was good. Like their
Okay.
intention to bring it back around and not make it a full circle and show that, I think there's a big debate amongst people since the dawn of time, like are humans inherently good or evil? And like all of these sort of discussions, and to show that people are flawed but still have humanity in them. I think that was I mean, I'm just assuming that that was the core belief that they wanted to like show us.
Hmm.
um, I think that is what they wanted to do. I don't know if that they succeeded in that.
I feel completely opposite about K-pop Demon Hunters, where I personally went in not expecting much. I was like, okay, I just want to watch it because it's there and I want to watch it. But it was actually like well written. Like it
Hmm.
was actually interesting. There was something like, so this is the one thing. It was written by a woman. Like the main person is a Korean woman, and she actually talked about it where she wanted to incorporate like the concept of it started with like she wanted to do Korean like demons and like lore, use mythology, and then create super women or like not super women but superhero women who weren't performing for men, like, and this is really well done in the animation as well, where they might be like K-pop idols, but they're like right before the concert they're like, okay, we have to eat like 10,000 calories, and they're stuffing their face. Whenever in their off time they're like dressed very comfortably. It's not, they're not always in their high fashion space. Like it's very realistically girly, like, you know, it's very girly pop in its
Nice.
essence, and that's really good. And also another interesting thing was that in Saja Boys, the only character who has a name and some and like a story is Ginu, and the other are just the caricatures of like K-pop idols, like tropes, K-pop boy group tropes, and that was also really well done. So it really felt like they took inputs. There's a lot of fan culture and stuff, but not no, it wasn't cringy. It wasn't shown in like a demeaning way. It was very like, okay, this is just how it is, and it felt like,
It felt very like they were in on the joke with us.
yeah.
Something about K-pop Demon Hunters that I, as an absolute tertiary observer, really liked is the artwork. I
Hmm.
thought that art style was very well done. It's so clever and such a brilliant thing to watch. In what is the Spider-Man animated one? Amazing Spider-Man? Is it what is
It's
it
the
called?
same animator.
Is it?
Yeah, I got excited.
Oh my god, that's so great. Okay, I had no idea. I was just gonna make like a oh, it's so like there's a comparative thing because
Yeah.
the British Spider-Man that they have, the one that's voiced by the guy from Get Out, whose name I'm forgetting absolutely right now, but he's also called Hobie, by the way. Like his pop art style of like animation is so similar to what I felt was there for a lot of like the Saja Boys' intro artwork. That's so crazy. It's the same animator.
The Into the Spider Verse one, right?
Into the Spiders. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the word.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
crazy.
same.
Like, imagine being that good at your work that like I can recognize it.
Yeah. And I also feel like it's like so refreshing to have an original story. And this is something I think I can draw from the original Squid Games. Like the original Squid Games was an original story, and that's what made it so fun.
I mean, if y'all were on Spotify listening to us, I have spent the last like 30 seconds of Sophia saying this original story thing. I've just been mouthing, oh my God, because that's so true. I feel like we've just stopped doing that. We've just stopped doing that. We're just remaking things, we're revamping, we're rebooting, we're not writing original content, and that sucks. And look at how a woman had to come and do that, huh?
Original content is being written, it's not getting picked up. Like
Hmm.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
And I think the success of K-pop Demon Hunters to some extent is kind of like probably promising, and hopefully other, like this was Netflix, maybe like Disney sees it or somebody else sees it and they're like, okay, maybe there is value in doing something original and putting money
It's
behind.
not just Netflix, it's Sony.
It's Sony.
It's
Oh,
Sony Animations, yeah. And
okay.
like because of the popularity of K-pop Demon Hunters, now they have promised a sequel. The problem now, my problem with any of this is that if you do one thing good, then you have to drive it into the ground.
Yeah. I
Like,
okay. Honestly, I don't think they should do a sequel. I think they just need a series. That's the background. Like that's it. Because this is like my one big trope. You know how you were asking how did he give the soul? And I'm just like, there's so much like missing links in the world. Like the world building of K-pop Demon Hunter needs like a lot of digging. Like, first of all, what about Rumi's parents? Like how did her mother hook up with a demon? Like, can we get the
I
background?
mean, it turns out not it's not just being a K-pop demon hunter that's generational.
Yeah, clearly.
But no, I'm okay with them doing a sequel because I absolutely understand, but I think it needs to end there. Like if they announce more after that, it's that's going to ruin the franchise. Like we've seen with so many others. Like I think the Shrek 5 thing should be the warning for everybody that like things may not be the best. Like you know how look at Incredibles. They did the first. It was fantastic. People begged for a sequel for years. They came back after 11 years with the sequel and then nothing. They've never gone back to that franchise.
Hmm.
And that's important. Like look at Cars. Like Cars did first, it was so good. They did a second, it wasn't good. They did a third, it was very bad. So don't ruin it is
Hmm.
my fear. And I get it because money and popularity and the songs have are all charting, so which is insane. Like how is it that you're getting out charted by an animated group?
Okay, but the songs are so good, and they're so like Golden is just superior, and
I'm your idol.
oh my god. And the best part is, so the main girl who voices Rumi and sings Golden, she used to be an SM trainee long ago, like girls' generation era, who never like ended up becoming an idol. So she became a songwriter. She has written a lot of cool songs for SM, including my favorite Red Velvet song of all time, Psycho. That's another thing where they genuinely picked like people from the ecosphere of K-pop, which is cool.
Hmm.
Um,
That is interesting to know. I think our conversation should help you decide which one to watch. I mean, ideally, I think everybody should watch Squid Game season 3. I think you should go out. Yes, because if nothing else, it should be used as an example of how you can ruin a franchise.
Mm.
Like poor writing has to be viewed, it has to be witnessed for you to understand what poor writing is. And I feel like a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't understand, and they just think, oh, I didn't understand, I didn't do this. No, it's not on you. A lot of times they are chasing something, maybe they had deadlines, maybe whatever it is. And a lot of times, as a writer or as a director, in your mind it makes sense, it's clear, it's well thought out, and it doesn't always translate through. And that's what's definitely happened in a lot of season 2 and definitely season 3 for me. Like, I was very disappointed. I notice how I'm not saying season 1 because I've not watched it. So
Yeah.
maybe season 1 would have also not been good. I don't know, actually. Maybe there was so much novelty in it, I would
Yeah,
have still
that was
appreciated.
the thing where it was okay. There have been something similar, but it was original, and I think the message and the theme in season one was really strong. It's like this is what human depravity is like, and at the end of the day, we are just pawns to rich people, and this is just fun. Our like misery is just fun for them, and we are here in the frogs in the well, just taking each other down. Like that was very clear cut in that. So
Yeah. And I feel like that was a message that sort of they wanted to retain through it, but then wanted to sort of, I don't know, maybe make the frog community sense increase. And I think that absolutely failed. That really
yeah.
didn't transfer through. I think either they needed to have a little, like, that scene where he's like, oh, humans aren't horses, don't bet on horses. Sorry, bet on horses but not humans, people. And like he sort of ended it saying people are, and that's the name of the final episode as well. Maybe if the speech was something bigger, maybe if the speech did something, maybe one of the VIPs had like a moment of empathy to be like, huh, that's a nice statement. Even if they said that, that like one fraction of like you had an impact, that would mean something.
Yeah. It's like if Parasite had a sequel, it just wouldn't make sense because like that story and message is so complete in itself.
I was reading like a Parasite inspired book today morning, like when I woke up. It was really interesting, and they tried to sort of Romeo and Juliet it without. Actually, that's not fair. It wasn't Romeo and Juliet. There was no romance, but there were just two people who wanted to be friends, but they were on like very parallelly different parts of like the spectrum, like how
Like
Parasite
every
shows.
Bollywood movie ever.
Yes, but it was no romance. But yeah, no, it was, yeah, you're right. It is very Bollywood. It was very that. And it was interesting. I haven't like moved too far into the book, but like, yeah, it was called This Side of Paradise. It was very interesting. K-pop Demon Hunters in this versus for me, with despite having not watched it, wins.
Maybe if you watched it, you would like dislike it more. Because then you'd see all the
Maybe,
holes in the story.
maybe the plot holes, maybe there'll be some like parts of like dialogue and things, but like as a plot, it does hold up.
Mm.
And I mean, I don't know if I'm in a place where I can like decry an a woman's original work. Like, I don't know if I'm there yet. Like, even if I didn't like it, I'd just be like, yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
um
And also, I'm
it's
glad that kids have something good to watch because I feel like as adults we get a lot of good content, but there's very little good content targeted towards like younger people, and that this is like a good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think one of the like the example I was going to use, like there's been a big not a big rise, but there has been a change in the trend of writers and animators, especially who are East Asian women. So the Panda movie, what is it? Turning Red from
Yeah.
Pixar is also by a woman of Chinese descent who also wrote the Dumpling Short,
Oh,
Bao.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she's the one who wrote that and animated that as well. And I mean, if you go and look at her like work, she's done a lot of really interesting work. And the fact that like K-pop Demon Hunters is also by a Korean origin woman, like that's an interesting trend for story writing to take.
Hmm.
And how both of these, like both Turning Red and K-pop Demon Hunters, are women-led stories. I mean, that's not rare. Animated movies do tend to be very women-led. Like Raya and the Dragon is also women-led. All Disney princesses are Disney princesses.
Hey, what are the boys watching?
Power Rangers.
This is why society is messed up.
I
We're
mean,
not
I watch a
nurturing
lot of
young
Power
men.
Rangers. I watch a lot of Power Rangers. Actually, I don't know if Power Rangers are still around. I watched a lot of Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and X-Men. Like these were my like shows. I don't know if these are still. You're so right. What are boys watching?
Like, this is why we have a problem in society.
That's so interesting. What are boys watching? Okay, so in Frozen 2, Jonathan Groff, who voices Kristoff in the second one, not the first one, because the first one was very sister love. The second one, there's this song that he does. A lot of people were like, why does he need a song? He doesn't need to. He's really not the integral core of the story. And that's very true. And a lot of the cast and the directors, they had this wonderful thing that I think struck such a like chord in me, where they were like, boys don't get to see big emotions. Like growing up, they're not the only emotion they are shown is anger and like aggression, which is probably why the TMNT and Power Rangers. But this was just him sitting in the woods and like having a moment of like big feeling. And it's a very, very rare representation. I don't know how many boys would have even gone out and watched Frozen 2 and would have seen the scene and maybe found resonation with it. But like that was very interesting to me, where I was like, you know what, that's such a good point. We don't think about it that way. Like the big emotion for men from very young ages is anger, and they've not been shown anything else. Unless you're a Bangtan fan, because they cry a lot. That was all of our many feelings about K-pop Demon Hunters and Squid Game. Which one did you like? Which one did you watch? Have you watched both of them? Did you agree with us? Are you like sitting there being like, no, Squid Game was the best? Like, how could you not like it? Maybe I'm happy to listen. I feel like this is okay. Another thing. Sorry, I know this is such a long episode, but every time we have opposing thoughts and opinions, or like I have an opposing thought or an opinion with any of my friends or anything, I think my reactions always is like, oh, okay, I don't agree, and then we move on.
Hmm.
However, I don't think that's a thing for people like on the internet. There's a lot of like, how could you not have the same feeling as me? So this remains a space where you can have a different feeling. We are okay with that. We are not here to police people's feelings. And we are here in exactly 2 weeks with a brand new episode. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? Oh, I remember what we're going to talk about.
Oh my god, don't
Oh,
say it, it's a secret.
but it is going to be really interesting. And I think y'all should come back. Till then, I was Sarah.
Now, Sophia.
Bye.